Welcome to 10 Things Miscreated Needs in 2020, guys. My name is Luthais. I've played this game for about 6 years since it came out. And yeah, this is a perfect starting point for us to start on. I'm at the moment in one of the two most dangerous storms in Miscreated. The first is a rad storm, and the second one is a nuclear winter storm. And I've been in it since the beginning, as you can see where my radiation is and where my cold is. A storm at the moment gives you 2.5 minutes warning. Like if you're close to a tower, the tower's alarm or siren goes off, and then 2.5 minutes later the storm starts, and then it carries on for 2.5 minutes. But that is way too short, you know, to really be dangerous for you. I'm literally standing outside. I've got the basic gear on me that you start with. Okay, I'll even tear this into a rag. So yeah, that's the basic gear that you start with. I haven't got gear to keep me warm or anything like that. I'm just standing outside. Okay, great place to start with. Now, yeah, my name is Luthais. I'm absolutely crazy about this game, and I've given this a lot of thought over the last few years. And this year, I've really been thinking about it for a long time. And in the comments down below, you guys can give your points of view, you know, and tell me what you think of my ideas. So let's start. The first thing that Miscreated needs in 2020 is more survival and PvE elements. Okay, when I say more PvE elements, I mean survival elements. Okay, and this storm is a very good example that we need something more dangerous. So that means storms that can actually kill you, because that's a survival game in its essence. You have to try and survive, so you have to try and not die. Okay, and if I run around, let me just check, am I crouched down or whatever? Yeah, if I ran around, my character would have gotten warmer slowly but surely, but I stood still, you know, to prove a point. Even if you stand still and you've just spawned into the game, the storm is not going to kill you. Okay, I'm on 54% radiation, and even if I stand outside with a radiation storm, it's going to get me to 100% radiation. But if I stand in a house or in cover, you know, it's not going to kill me either. And that in its essence is what a survival game is about. I just saw a stream of Deadside, and it's a fun PvP game, and that's how people play Miscreated at the moment, just running around killing each other. But it was very funny to me when the developers said, you know, zombies and mutants and stuff like that isn't needed in a survival game. Okay, and they want to get to the true sense where people just kill people. Okay, in a realistic survival sense, people won't just run around killing each other. Okay, so that doesn't really give you a pure survival experience, because people don't care about their lives, you know, and it's just a PvP festival. There's a lot of games that you can play if you just want a PvP. But the main thing is the survival. So the mutant's damage needs to be upgraded. Okay, to give you an example of what I mean by that is, I'm a new character. And yeah, I'm just going to run to a bush and show you exactly what I mean. Okay, so usually you spawn with a shirt or a beanie on. Okay, and you can always tear your shirt into a rag. Okay, so yeah, that's literally what you can do. You always spawn with a shirt, so you can put your shirt in your pants and you can turn that into a rag. Okay, then you can run to any of these bushes. Just give me a stick, please. Okay, that's. Come on, let's get to 30% of the time. You're going to give me a stick. Okay, you're not going to give me a stick. Oh, really lucky with the thatch today. Spider just got out, but I mean, and there's another spider. Okay, there I got a stick. Okay, 2 spiders on me. I can just run away from it. No worry at all. And now when I go to equipment, I can craft this torch. They have changed the damage values, and this thing that only does 15 damage now, which is nice. It used to do 20. But even with the damage reduction, and the reason they changed that is basically for time to kill when it comes to players. But let's just go find a mutant quickly, and I'll show you what the experience is like. Okay guys, I'm at Brightmoor now. And yes, a person can kill me, but we're not talking about PvP, we're talking about PvE, okay, which is the essence of a survival game. So, I can loot these houses, no problem. Let's go look for a mutant. There we go. So with this torch, you can set it alight to search caves, and then you just have to use T. Okay, I'm going to take on 2 here. Okay, took on 2 mutants there. Use the rag and I'm still fine. Okay, I can take on 1 mutant at a time, and I'm going to heal. I've just been through a nuclear winter storm. I didn't have to make a fire to survive. I didn't have to get into cover to survive. There was no real threat level. And even if a mutant runs at me with something that took 1 stick, this is literally a stick, boys. And a small little stick. Don't even think I'll ever be able to kill a mutant unless I set him on fire or stick him with a pointy end. But yeah, even with a thing that does 15 damage, which is probably one of the weakest items in the game, I can still run through a town. You can get to the military tents, you know, loot the town, maybe get a gun. And yeah, if you spend a few hours on the game, you know where to get a blue mushroom. Or you can maybe pick up anti-rad somewhere. Okay, which isn't a problem. More than enough weapons to defend yourself with. Okay. So let's just go into this tent here. But basically you can run through the tent and loot. Okay. I'm not going to use the katana. Just want to show you how many mutants I can kill with the torch. Heart is beating. But it's fine. 3 mutants. Okay, I just used the rag. Didn't use bandages. Didn't go sit down to heal faster or anything. Haven't used the weapons that I've literally just found. And that's basically in essence what I'm talking about. You have a ton of weapons that you can use in this game. Okay, and even if you go to your base, you can literally craft weapons in your base. Okay, you're going to need to find the guides. It's a ranged weapon, one guy and a workbench. You can go buy it off the Steam store if you want, or if you want to enjoy the survival experience, you know, actually try and survive. But you can make these guns. All these guns use the same ammo in the crafting menu for a specific reason, because that's the only 3 calibers you can make. But you can make the bullets as well, okay? So you can make a gun in your base, you can craft bullets, and then you can come and kill everything. But this is what I found funny about Deadside, is that they said mutants or zombies and stuff like that isn't needed. That is the only thing that's needed, okay, for a survival game. So the storms need to do more damage. The storms need to be able to kill you, okay? Except if you've got the right gear or a heat pack. You can protect yourself against a storm with the heat pack or an anti-rad, because those are the only 2 effects that you're going to get. Heat pack, anti-rad, and then if you get sick, you can cure it with a red mushroom or antibiotics, okay? But I would love here you get a poison icon when you're poisoned, but when you're sick, you get the same icon that looks like poison. It's not a lot of effort. When you're poisoned, you're having the same effects, okay, as when you're sick. So I would love for there just to be a sick icon as well, okay, just a different symbol with different effects, okay. Maybe your guy keeps coughing, you know, and gives away his position. Maybe he can't run anymore. I don't care what effects you add to it. Just let there be different effects on you due to being poisoned or being sick, okay. And then again, just give the female character's got some hair, okay, just give the male character hair. I know a beard and stuff like that's gonna probably clip through some clothing or whatever, but you know, I know the woman's hair is quite flat. You know, make the guy's hair quite flat, you know, not that bad. Just give him a set of hair, and maybe let us change the skin tone, okay. I know you can't change the bodies because the mesh of the character and all that, but just give different colors, okay, and then, you know, a set of hair, just to get some variation. And then, yeah, PvE aspects, we need to have stuff like broken bones and an infection, you know, and heat on Canyonlands, you know, let the heat be a problem, like the cold is a problem on the islands map. And definitely we need to look at the AI that teleports a lot. When you get to a deer, when it starts running, you know, it shoots away, teleporting. Wolves teleport a lot, or glide, you know, over the grass a lot. If we can fine tune those animations, it adds to the experience as well, okay. It keeps you immersed in the game. So those animations need to be fixed or just smoothed out, you know, or something. And then the bear needs to be, I think the bear's animation needs to be a bit quicker, because if you sidestep a bear, his hitting animation is too slow. Okay, so you can literally sidestep a bear and it will never hit you. But the bear is a really cool asset, so we need to fix that as well, you know, so that people can't trick the AI, okay? So that the bear is literally dangerous. I don't know, make his hit marker bigger, you know? Like, even if you sidestep, you know, just the bear, not the mutants, just the bear, you know, because a mutant can hit you even if you're behind it. A mutant can hit you. Okay, so just make the bear's hit range a bit further. Okay. Okay, that's 4. Can we kill 5 mutants with a torch? Let's not give ourselves any time to heal. Here we go. Okay, 5 mutants. We can kill 5 mutants with a torch, guys. Remember, we can run away from them as well. Okay? We can run away from them. I could have used a katana which kills them much faster. So I literally used the first item that you can make in the game. When you spawn in, you make a rag, you get a stick, you've got a weapon to kill mutants. Okay? So we just need the PvE element a bit more dangerous. Not hectic, just a bit more dangerous. Especially with the armor at the moment, giving us high percentages, of defense. So, I don't know, 2 to 3 times damage on the mutants, and at least 2 times damage on the storms. We don't need to go times 3, but at least make the storms 2 times, more dangerous. Small things, we don't have to go crazy. Just go more in the survival experience, because what the developers are missing is that Miscreated has the best foundation out of any other game. What has DayZ got? It's got broken bones and infections, and sicknesses and stuff like that. A bit more survival elements, but it's only got buggy AI, okay, with zombies. We've got mutants. And if Miscreated can blow up to 10 or 20 or 50,000 players, they'll have a ton of finances to add a ton more mutants, a ton more animals. They can really get creative with the AI intelligence. But we need to get back to the survival elements. And Miscreated has got all the survival elements right now. Doesn't matter if they add anything later. The Radstorm, the Nuclear Winter Storm, the Acid Rain, the various types of mutants, the wolves, the bears. They can still add stuff. It's got all the perfect elements for survival. Coldness, they can add heat later. What you guys don't understand is that I love this game to death. But over the years, I can see what it can be. Okay, and the 10 things that I'm mentioning today is realistic. I'm not thinking outside the box. I'm thinking within the box. Okay, I've got my own server, and I try and push the limits to difficulty. But I would love to play on an official server. I would love official servers, to be extremely popular. And I would just love the game to explode. And I will bring these changes into my server as much as possible. But, yeah. Hopefully one day, the developers can look back on this video and understand what we were trying to tell them. Because a lot of the community agrees with me. Okay, so that's number 1. More survival and more PvE elements. Okay, imagine when mutants hit you, there's a 20% chance or a 10% chance that they can infect you. Every time they hit you, you've got a percentage chance to be infected. And when you're infected, it will take you 6 hours to die. Okay, I think in-game time is about 6 hours. From the morning right through to when the sun starts going down, that's about 6 hours. You've got 6 hours to try and find an antidote, which should be rare, but not too rare, okay? But it adds an extra fear element to just, standing in front of a mutant and getting hit. Because if you've got the right weapon, you don't really care about it. But if you know you're going to get infected and you need quite a rare antidote, okay, to be cured, or maybe you need to gather various plants to craft, okay, to craft that antidote. Okay, various things that they can incorporate to add a bit to the survival element. And then the second thing is crafting. Okay, more survival crafting, like animal clothing. When you kill a wolf, maybe you can make a pelt out of a wolf pelt or a bear pelt. Not the thing sitting in your base, literally like clothing. Okay, if you don't want to go into towns, it must be possible, if you don't want to go into towns, to survive off the wild completely. Okay, and like I said, you can get plant antidotes. They can make it so that if you fall at a certain distance, if you're going to receive more than 40% damage by falling, or more than, let's say 40% for example, if you get damaged more than 40% due to fall damage, you break a leg, okay? or or an arm, or whatever the case would be. But let's just use a leg. And in that time, while you've got a broken leg, you can't run. Okay, you can literally just walk. If they want to give you like a little, a little animation on that, that's fine. Okay, it's something that DayZ has, so incorporate it, okay, in your own way. Just more survival elements. And well, when it comes to the crafting, like I said, animal clothing, various things, and even the animation. Okay, when you run and you look back, if you run and you look backwards, then don't let the character look backwards. Okay? Okay. Press the wrong button there by mistake. Yeah. Let the character look backwards like this. Okay? Don't let him run backwards while he's looking backwards. Small things. Give us animations on the shotgun reload. It's the small qualities of life which is extremely important on a survival game. Shotgun, holsters. At the moment, my gun is hanging there, in the air. The flashlight is hanging in the air. If I've got a gun, it's going to hang in the air. If I've got two guns on my back, it's going to hang in the air. Yes, I know it's not such a big deal, but adding a belt to your clothing and a holster, like if you just spawn with a belt, and a holster, it will just look more realistic. Having something on your back, to be able to holster a weapon, that will be great as well. Small things that will help the person to live himself more into the experience and not be taken out of the experience, by things that don't look right. And then, the shotgun, the holstering, sitting, if we can sit on chairs, that would be great, okay? Just to interact with the chair. And if you can sleep, that would be great as well. Go to sleep, give the character sleeping animation, and while he's sleeping, he heals much faster, okay? Or if he's sick, maybe it can cure his sickness. I don't know. And it's a bit of a stretch, but if the characters can stay in game like on Rust, that will add to it as well, okay? Because at the moment, if you go offline, you just take all the best gear with you. Just a few ideas, guys. And then the third thing is more cool items, okay? With the crafting, you guys have done really cool stuff, okay? You gave us, like, with the weapons, melee. You gave us a nail paddle and a wooden paddle and a saw blade and this vacuum paddle and nail knuckles. Those are really cool ideas, but when it comes to the clothing, you just gave us this one cool item, okay? Football pads that we can upgrade. Give us more of that stuff. Give us a helmet that we can upgrade with plating and have spikes on, or the welding helmet doesn't have an armor value at now. I don't, that bothered me a bit because you took away you removed the thing that impaired, our vision when we were looking through the welding helmet. So now it became a viable option. Make a kind of player unknown welding helmet made out of metal, that you can upgrade. That's a tier 4 or a tier 4 or level 4 armor, okay? And it looks really, really cool, okay? You had the perfect idea with football pads, but rather let us craft, a vest that we can put plating on with spikes and stuff like that, that looks more badass, Mad Max, so that all the tier 4 armors, look really, really cool on you. Okay, just various ideas here. Give us a chainsaw. Okay, we've taken a few things from Rust. Give us a chainsaw that's extremely rare. again, we've got legendary weapons like a Grimy Rick or a Reaver or a Dictator, okay, or a Majesty. Give us a rare chainsaw which we can use to cut down wood, you know, to get wood extremely fast. Give us there's an ore. Give us a jackhammer, okay, to get resources from an ore deposit extremely fast, okay. Just various things that we are willing to fight for. And when it comes to tier 4, the black biker helmet only spawns in Canyonlands, and the alien helmet, I haven't seen one for a while. But don't remove stuff like that, okay? If you add assets to the game, keep it in the game. If you don't want people to pick up Halloween items or Valentine's items or whatever season it is, just keep it in the crafting menu, okay? You don't have to keep it in the world so that it stuffs up the spawn points, but keep it in the crafting menu so that people can use it as decorations in their base all year round, okay? Whether they want to craft it or not. Next year, Halloween and Christmas and, you know, Valentine's, you can add more items, okay? And remember, a guy can only put so many parts in his base, so it's not like it's going to lag the server extra hard. It's just going to give more people more items, okay, to decorate their base. And anything that adds value or fun to the game is good for you, okay? And keeps a guy attached more to his base. And you're going the right way, okay? I'm not crazy about the games that you added, but don't take anything away. If it spawns in the world and you want to clean up the spawn points again, just add all those items to an extra crafting menu, and then, you know, with each and every season, just add to it. Okay, it's going to take you the same amount of work because each year you bring out new items, but at least it will add to the options that the players has, which the players have, which keeps them attached to the game. Yeah, so we've got the chainsaw, the jackhammer, cool equipment, cool tier armors, and the Islands has got the Woodhaven bunker, and Canyonlands has the alien crash site at the back. Make it so that the alien helmet, okay, or the gear that you could get at an alien drop spawns at those back tents at the alien crash site. Rare spawn points, but it only spawns in that dangerous radiation zone. And then make it so that the alien helmet and the biker helmet and whatever tier 4, you know, cool items you hopefully going to bring us only spawns in the Woodhaven bunker. Okay? Giving that bunker a reason to go in there. You fix the bunkers now. People can't log out in the bunkers. Now just give us a reason to go back there. Because at the moment, the northern bunker, the loot is very average. Okay? And the threat level is quite low for experienced players. But yeah, just give us a carrot, you know, like we're a donkey. Just give us a carrot, something to go for. Because if there's no reason for us to enter the northern bunker and we can get the same kind of loot at the radiation zones or at normal checkpoints, then we're rather going to do that. Okay, why do we have to go through all the effort of building up the generator and going into a bunker with a ton of mutants in it? And we have to climb a ladder where we can get camped. You know, various things can go wrong when we can get the same equipment from a normal checkpoint. So yeah. You can add that to the main radiation zone. You don't have to put it at the factories. You can make it so that it only spawns there at the back, right at the back, because it's a more open spot. There's a bit more risk going for it, just like there's more risk going for the Woodhaven bunker. Okay, so you can add those spawn points to that. And yeah, the third point I've got here is, or the fourth point that I've got here is missions, treasure maps, bunker armory codes, and new AI. We of course already spoke about the new AI, but the secret location that you guys created in or that the developers created in the Canyonlands, which they're going to open up at some point, is a really good idea. You know, the fact that people have to look for clues and stuff like that. And we would love more of that. You know, maybe key cards that can only open certain bunkers, you know, with the rarest loot. Maybe we need a specific key card to put into, you know, the armory in the Woodhaven bunker. Just add to the motivation of exploring and going to certain spots, okay? And, you know, various missions. And then, of course, you know, treasure maps. Treasure maps would be cool. A very rare treasure map that gives you a certain location where you can, you know, where you can get the loot. That would be great as well, okay? The only thing that confuses me is if people can, you know, repeat that, or if you can make those places random, okay? So that either the key card to the bunker changes constantly, so you can't just repeat it all the time. But that's up to you, okay? Your idea, the developer's idea of the secret at Canyonlands was a really, really cool idea. Don't exactly know how they're going to go about it, but we need more of that, and in the islands map as well. Then the fifth point is throwables should explode on impact, just like the grenade launcher. Okay, and give us a dot in the middle of the screen. Okay, I spoke to the developers about this, and you know, going into the Miscreated Discord is very, very difficult, even for absolute fan like me, or, you know, a person that talks straight to people, a person who tries to act like an adult, you know, and be fair. It's very difficult to be fair in the Miscreated Discord, because you can get attacked by fanboys and mods, you know, very easily. And, you know, unfortunately, you get treated sometimes like an idiot. Now, I am banned from the Miscreated Discord, probably indefinitely. It's probably been about 6 months, for insulting, you know, one of the mods. But sometimes you just can't help yourself. You see something, you know, you see a person getting targeted by fanboys and mods who doesn't really know what he's talking about, but he has got a valid point. They jump on top of him, he gets angry, and he gets banned. Okay, I can't really stand back when things like that happen, and that's why I get banned. Okay, I never hold back on what I want to say. Okay, but I don't easily insult people. So when I insult a person, you know, there's a very, very good reason behind it. But yes, the communication is difficult. So the developers need to, you know, they really need to get back to the monthly streams, and they need about 10 guys. You know, they don't need to talk to the entire community, but they need to talk to 10 various kinds of people. Okay, a person that loves role playing, a person that loves PvP, a person that loves, you know, survival aspects, like hardcore aspects. Yes, that includes me, or you, someone else, I don't care. But just, you know, just like 5 or 10 people that can get onto a Discord call and just discuss a few things once a month, once every 2 months, once every 3 months. It doesn't really matter, but you know, the people that love this game to death really needs to get together and, you know, talk about what we can do, not argue, you know, just throw a few ideas out there. Developers can make notes, you know, some they can use, some they can't use. And once a month, a dev stream is just a good idea to tell the people what they're busy with. I know people got angry because it was like you know, you made false promises to us. But it's not about that. Every dev stream, you can always say, this is what we're planning. It might not be possible, but this is what the direction we'd like to go in. Okay? Get the feedback. The updates. The updates is another thing, guys. Do not release an update until we have tested it on the experimental server for at least a week or 2. I don't know how many updates we've had where things have gone wrong. Okay? Something else broke that wasn't broken. You know, being able to raid people with rocks, being able to store C4. So many things have gone wrong, and yes, you can fix it later, but that doesn't mean it hasn't done the initial damage, okay? Which makes people rage quit, and leave the game, and gives the people a bad taste, okay? It's like a wipe, we know people can just rebuild their bases, but it's that taste that you're leaving. Like, they might love the game, but they spend 3 months or 6 months building up their base with metal parts and everything, and then you wipe it, and they don't come back. It doesn't mean they don't love the game, but they need that stability, like in a relationship. Your wife can't scream at you, want to divorce you every month, and you just stick with her. You need stability in the relationship and understanding. And it's the same with this community. We need to know where we stand, where are we going? Because we have been sticking with you for 6 years. Other games have come and gone. Dead Matter is going to come and go. Dead Side is going to come and go. Many games are going to come and go. But you've got the people that are still sticking with you. And you need to give us some kind of influence, some kind of say, some kind of just an ear, to listen to, and keep the moderators out of it. The moderators are there for normal complaints, okay, on your Discord. When it comes to the people that have been supporting you for years and which really do an effort, to get this game in a certain direction, like John Tapio, like Pity Villiers, like the other moderators that are working their butt off. And I know some mods do a lot, okay? But when you've got a moderator that has banned more people than you've ever seen in your life, and, he brags to the community about hitting 600-meter shots reliably, and he's got the ego, bigger than the universe itself, that is not a good person to have a stable relationship with, because unfortunately, people like that are self-centered and cannot take other people seriously, okay? And, yeah, a lot of conversations end up on a bad place. So, I know why you guys need people like that, but I'm just saying, in a group conversation, we need to have the right people around that table or in that Discord channel, okay, that are looking the right way, and that don't stir an argument immediately. So if you have to exclude me out of that circle as well, that's fine if you think I'm too direct. But the community needs to get together, okay? Like I said, you have already made a grenade launcher that explodes on impact. Okay, so it should be very, I don't know, I'm not a programmer, but hopefully we can make it so that throwables, grenades, smoke grenades, flashbangs can explode on impact, so we can still try and use it tactically. Because at the moment, just lobbing stuff up in the air and hoping it will explode at the right time, there's not a lot of fun in that, okay? When someone's in a room and you can throw, a flashbang against the wall and make it explode immediately, that's a good idea. But yes, we need to look at the items within the game and make them viable again. And all the throwables in this game is a big viable thing. Okay? Yeah, Molotovs work like that. Molotovs explode on impact. Okay, we need pipe bombs to explode on impact. We don't need C4 that falls through the ground, okay, that you need to throw it onto a solid surface. Maybe we want to throw C4 onto the ground when a car is trying to kill us or something, okay? Maybe we don't want the C4 to go right through the car. I don't know if that's fixable or not, but that's things that we need to focus on, okay, because there are a ton of throwables in the game. And yes, guys, like I say, I've been thinking about these things for years, and I'm not trying to be trollish, I'm not trying to badmouth anyone, I'm just trying to be straight with you guys because I love this game. And when I look at Miscreated and I look at the bases that we've got, the base, okay, the foundation that we've got, I see a castle. I see a palace on top of it, okay? When it feels like sometimes the devs only see a mansion. They see a mansion and they're happy with a mansion, okay? And when they work months on a radiation storm, that's a really, really cool thing, and it kills us, and a lot of their true fans are passionate. Then some kind of, I don't know who it is, it feels like the mafia, because 2 weeks later they nerve it. They put in all the effort to bring that into the game, but then they just take the effect and the danger level of it and they nerve it so that it doesn't mean anything anymore. I don't know who these people are, okay, but the guys that are causing that, okay, the weak players of Miscreated who don't want a survival game, they can go to Deadside. There's no mutants there, there's no storms there, there's nothing. Go to Deadside, kill each other, use your aimbots or your dots in the middle of your screen, you know, or your whatever you're using to kill people. Go there, you know, go there and kill people. But this is a survival game, and we cannot take a great idea and shit all over it. And I blame the community for that, for having a fantastic radiation storm and a nuclear winter storm, which they worked on to create, and then we just say, nerve it, otherwise we're going to log out. Log out, okay, and come back 2.5 minutes later. But don't complain about it, okay? Because it's a survival game and it needs to be in the game. And your complaining is part of the reason why the game has got the player base that it has at the moment. Okay, if the people that the developers were listening to had all the right answers, we wouldn't be sitting where we are at the moment. I guarantee it. And for fanboys like Darmaniac or whatever other fanboys are at the top of the Discord channel, which talks all day instead of playing all day, okay, they do not help the cause. You need the guys on the battlefield. You don't need the lieutenants shouting from the back. You need the soldiers on the front line, okay, that is running around and knows every single little stone on this freaking map. You need those guys to tell you what will improve the game, okay? Not people that play on empty servers or PvE servers or, you know, talks all day. And again, I'm not trying to insult anyone. I'm just trying to put down, you know, put through a point. And yes, a dot in the middle of the screen. And the other thing that I want to mention is the developers think that something like this, I'm going to say the devs, 1 or 2 devs, okay, laughed at me when I said this, you know, this could be a problem. Okay, stop pressing that button, so it's shift. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay, it's alt, look that way, and we roll that way. Okay, this, they said this is nothing, okay, like, it's just a funny thing, okay, because it doesn't help you at all. Guys, if I crawl up to a drop between trees, okay, I can roll away, okay, it definitely has an influence. You can't tell me it hasn't got an influence when I can literally, for instance, say, if people are far away, yes, but if they are within my vicinity and the grass, okay, let's say this is filled with grass and the grass renders in, okay, being able to do this in long grass, okay, being able to do this forever, that is an advantage, okay, which not every single player knows about, but it's definitely an advantage. Saying it's not an advantage when I can just roll into a river and swim away, you know, it is. People having a dot in the middle of their screen is an advantage, okay? So fixing a bug like this is a must in the long run, in the overall player experience, because he's going to run into players using this. He's going to run into players never aiming down their sights, you know, just hip firing everyone to death. Headshot, 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 headshot. Yes, the guy that has the dot in the middle of his screen and has worked out where the bullets go to. I don't care if you need to put the dot in the middle of your screen or somewhere else on the screen. You know what I mean, okay? The point on your screen where the bullet's going to travel to every time. If you've got that on your screen and you can just shoot everyone, headshot, headshot, headshot. Yes, you look like a hero, but the game dies. The server dies down, okay? And you're the only one happy. The 20 people that you killed that rage, you know, because you didn't even aim down the sights killing anyone, they are leaving the game, okay? And if it's just the heroes that are left, we're going to sit with about 100 players, you know, at the end of the day. Helping clans, okay, because they are hoarding all the vehicles, so it's only them that can get metal parts to, you know, to back up their base with really strong armor, because the metal parts take 16 C4s to destroy. But solo players can't get the metal parts because all the draggable vehicles are, you know, in the big clans' bases. So the big clans can raid them easily with 12 to 16 C4s, but they need at least 100 C4s to get to the clans, which drags every single metal part, you know, to their base. Creating a shop where people can buy metal parts with AM coins helps the new player. It gives the new player an incentive to explore, okay? Because he can explore for guns and then he can go take on 20 people and he can lose and he can think it's a shit game. But if he can buy legendary weapons, if he explores enough and if he uses stealth enough, you know, and if he really tries to live himself into the experience, and he can buy metal parts for his base so that he can at least defend his base just like the guys that are hoarding everything on the server, because he's the good guy and they're the bad guys, but they are having all the advantages and all the fun. And when that clan of 10 or 20 players on a 50 pop server, which is extremely weak, kills everyone and no one wants to play on that server anymore, they leave that server, join another full server, and the process repeats. Okay, we've been helping the clans way too much. We need to help the new players, the players that actually needs to get into the game for it to become popular. Okay, we need to see the palace and we need to look past the mansion and we need to understand who the bad guys are and who. No one's bad people. I'm just saying your actions are having very negative effects on the game, and people are never going to change the way, okay, they treat other people or the way that they play a game. So you need to set things in place to help the new players or hurt the clans, okay? You need to balance it out, okay, so that everyone has an enjoyable playing experience and everyone has the same is fighting on a level playing field. So put the dot, you know, in the screen. Even if the dot, you know, the bullet doesn't go to the dot on the screen, put the dot on the screen where the bullet goes to, because that's exactly what the other guys do. Okay, normal people don't want to put a dot in the middle of the screen, but put the dot there, a very, very light dot, like on other games, so that if people get headshotted by a guy, okay, they can understand how he didn't aim down his sights and he killed 20 people, no problem. Okay, they can say, oh, he had the dot, he's very quick with the dot, you know, that's how he killed us all. Not hacker, you know, the game is full of hackers and we're never going to come back to this game again. Long term, guys, long term. The base snapping system. We need to know what's going on with the base snapping system and what problems you guys are having. Or we need, you know, the base snapping system to be a priority, because base building is becoming really nice. The bases that I've built lately looks way better than any base on Rust or Ark or anywhere else I've really built a base before. And you know, there's a lot of options which I like, but the snapping system needs to be sorted, and then the radius of the base where you can build. I think we need to change that into a block. If you guys can, you know, try and change that to a square block instead of a circle. because people are struggling to place their garage doors and they think it's a bug in the game, but it's not a bug. It's because the outside radius of where you can build your base is a circle. So, the garage panel is hitting that circle and it doesn't want to place. But if you just come closer to the plot sign, it will place. But it does confuse people. They don't know it's a circle, They think it's a square, and they try and build on that basis, when it's not on that basis. So if we can turn that dome, that circle dome of your base building parameter into a square instead of a circle, it will help a lot with the base building mechanics. And yes, except for the snapping, traps, okay? If we can add door traps, like Rust, use Rust as well, just make it more realistic, maybe we can, I don't know, put water on the floor, with certain pans or something, a shocking system, a door trap. When you open the door, the explosion goes off, so you literally place the explosions on the door. The shotgun, all the traps that you guys have made is really good, Just give us a bit more base defenses to help us with offline raiding, okay? That will give players a bit, peace of mind, rather than them saying, no, I'm going to be offline raided, and there's nothing I can do about it. Give them some kind of way of defense. I don't know if it's possible to send a Steam notification when your base gets attacked. I've never seen that in a game, but if we can bring it into a game, it would be fantastic. Map markers. Okay, we've got a map. Deadside has got a map marker. I know it's the Unreal Engine. Okay, but where you are on the map, where your teammates are on the map, placing a marker on an interactive map, okay, will do tons. And yes, I am someone who loves realism, but we have to think about the fun factor as well, okay? Yes, bring in the PvE survival elements, but let them have fun in the meantime, to interact with their friends, find their friends. If they're in a fight, don't let them rage quit because they shot their friends by mistake, okay? Let it be a fun experience them from the first step. When they open the map for the first time, an interactive map, maybe not a map like this that you're holding in your hands. I love this. The hardcore players love this, but even we that love the game understands what other normal players want, and that is a marker on the map where you are, tags on your clan members to know where they are, maybe placing markers on the map to let them know where you're going. I don't know what is possible in that regards, but that adds a lot of stuff, okay? A lot of value. Furniture, more modern furniture, okay? We've got furniture that we can build for our base. Like I said, I'm very happy with the base building at the moment. I'm just thinking, decorations, furniture. Yeah, like this, I love this and I love this, okay? I'm just thinking, let's get a bit more modern. Let it be a bit more expensive, more materials that we have to gather for it. I don't know, but a bit more modern would be really, really, really cool. And if we can add, regarding the base building, brick walls or stone walls, that we can make as strong as the plated was, and make the plated, where the plated is 4C4, make the stone walls 4C4 and make the plated 8C4, and then you make the metal 16C4, just to balance it out a bit, guys, because like I said, the clans can raid those poor guys very quickly that can't get to metal parts. That's why we need that shop. The shop is very, very important, and modded communities shows you that they love buying stuff. And the thing with the developers is that they know how to balance stuff. The cost of things are very, very nice, much more balanced than I've ever seen, and that's what makes it so great. They know why they can't make base parts 1,000. They know why they can't make the radius of a plot sign ridiculously big. and they know what effect every item on the server has. That's why they can't give us more than 6 storage crates. They can see the future and how it will affect the server, and that's why I feel they are the perfect people for an online shop that you get in your crafting menu. Like the black market that's on modern servers, just much more balanced and needs realistic resources, okay, to give you a target to aim for. But like I say, overall, I'm happy with the base building. We need furniture. We need the plot sign exclusion to be opened up to us so that we can limit the plot sign exclusion, because we've got great ideas regarding that. And yeah, the map markers with the clan tags, limiting maybe cars and tents, limiting it that you can't have more than 2 cars or 1 tent in your base. I don't know. Of course, he can drive 5 vehicles into his base, but then if he does break the rules, then if he's got 5 vehicles in his base, 3 of them despawn automatically. It's not like they're going to blow up or he can't keep them there. It's just that if he logs off, there's no one in the area, or he knows if he puts 5 cars in his base, 3 of them are going to despawn within an hour or in half an hour. I don't know, make it an hour. But if there's a system to limit the tents in bases and the vehicles in bases, that's going to help a ton. I know there are quads, okay, but I'd like to have a quad in my base as well. So if we implement that system, we can make everything, 2 days, and help people to be able to have anything in their base. But limiting the vehicles will definitely help, and having something that new players can always use is good. So yeah, the quad system is nice at the moment. Then a way to speed ratio. Okay, when you've got nothing on you, and they've already done this, when you've got a weapon in your hands, you run a bit slower. Okay, so what a speed to weight ratio does is it helps new players to get away from geared players, and it forces fully geared players who's running around with Reavers and M40s, and the best gear in the game. It forces them to take on mutants, to not just run away from mutants and to not just run away from players, okay? Slow their speed down quite a bit so that point 1, Bambi's, which is no threat to the players, actually has a chance to get away because the geared players are too heavy to catch them. And then secondly, for a lightly geared player, to actually be able to kill the geared player. But he has to sacrifice something. So if you want to catch a guy that's fully geared, you need to take off your armor and your helmet, and your extra gun on your back. You have to take that risk, okay? So there's a lot of fun aspects to that. The speed. If the player is fully geared, let him run slower than most mutants, so that he can't run away from a brute, and he can't run away from normal mutants, so that he's forced to make a noise, with all that gear on him. And actually, you can still get away from a brute, but most of the mutants must be able to catch him like the crazy catches us at the moment, okay? But if you're not geared, then you can get away, okay? As the weight increases, your speed must decrease. So if you've got 40 kgs on you, you mustn't be able to get away from mutants anymore. Or put the weight up to 60, okay? From 10 to 50, you can only jog. From 50 to 60, you can only walk. Again, I don't know if everything is possible. I'm just saying what Miscreated needs. I don't know if it's possible, but me and a large portion of the community definitely knows what it needs. And yes, regarding the community, the modding community has done a lot for this game. Okay, seeing as a lot of the modded servers are at the top page, okay, when you search the pages. And my hardcore server will fill up when I'm done with the final designs of the server. Now, a modding community keeps a game alive. So either you guys do the monthly streams, you get that small group that we can discuss Discord together every 3 months or 2 months, and you become more connected with your community that loves this game to death and really wants you guys to do well, and you ignore the trolls and we move forward, okay? Or you put the game on the back foot and open up all the modding, all the code, okay? And regarding the AI, I don't know, but we'll get to that in the end, okay? But you open up the modding to everyone. You open up Canyonlands and the Islands map so that we can add those special spawn points, okay? That we can edit the map and try and make it a bit more fun. If the modder stuffs up the map, no one's going to play on there, and they can still play on the Islands map, okay? If he stuffs up Canyonlands, it's negative. But who with a full-time job? I'm busy with it at the moment, and there's a ton of work that goes into map creation. Who with a full-time job can create a map better than the Islands map within 2 or 3 years? Okay, it will probably take me 2 or 3 years with the level of detail that I have to go into. But we don't have 2 or 3 years, guys. We've already got a beautiful Islands map. We've already got a very nice Canyonlands map. Open it up to your modding community so that we can see what we can do with it. Okay, so we can bring in all the changes that we're thinking about and we can help you. Just like Jerry Maguire says, help me, help you. It's as simple as that, guys. Now, the biggest problem here is going to be money. Money. Yeah, money. Okay, I'm not going to run around a lot, guys. I just basically showed you, if a storm ever... I just came here because if a storm ever, gives you radiation, it's very easy to get mushrooms. There are 2 swamps on the map, which you can learn quite quickly. You can learn those locations quite quickly. There's anti-rads in bathrooms, mushrooms randomly throughout the world. So, worrying about thirst or any survival element is really, there I'm on 94 health, I've only got 10 radiation. So I can do this 10 times before it really affects me, or at least 6 times before it really affects me. But I can get a ton of mushrooms, and just solve that problem. If I've got a hunger issue, I can search a few kitchens, get salt, and then, just kill a deer with the hatchet, since they stop running at some point. Just kill him with the hatchet, add the salt to the deer meat, and I'm fine, or go to the beach, get the food on the beach with the seaweeds, or I can just get berries because I know where the berries are. A lot of things, guys, that we need to make those deers less. We need to pull back on the mushrooms, either the amount of mushrooms or the effect on mushrooms. We need to make water much more poisonous, okay? Or remember the sick value with the different icon that I told you guys about? Maybe we should get infected if we drink dirty water like this, okay, in a major way. 1 drink of water, we're poisoned, we're sick, and we're building up radiation, okay, and we vomit immediately. Some of 4 effects on one. It mustn't be easy to drink, water out of the ocean or out of a river. You need to purify the water. You need to build a small little base, and get those systems in place. You need you need to make a little fireplace and then boil the water in the fireplace, because you can get pots and pans in kitchens as well. You see where I'm going, guys? You see where I'm going? Please don't lose me on this. I know everything takes money. And the way to solve that is with DLC, guys. I know Matt can do something like that. He told me that. Or Matt was excited about that. Matt is the level designer, the lead level designer. Marco said he could do something like that, but he doesn't, he doesn't see how it's going to work out. I think it can work out, guys, because you've made a football pads with plating on, because you've made various helmets. Make DLC packs with unique helmets, vests, and clothing and shoes and stuff. Okay? Not for a specific clan, but if a clan wants to use it. So cool clan clothing that you can skin in different colors, which people can use to identify each other. If you can't put the markers above the players' heads, give them clan clothing, not specific to their clan, just every month or 2 months bring out a new set of clan clothing. Okay, and what you add to that clan clothing is up to you. An eagle, a tiger, a bear, a skull, a pirate, whatever you want to add to that clan clothing is fine. But make a new helmet, make a new vest. I don't know how much time that takes. If you can only do it once every 3 months, bring out a DLC once every 3 months. Okay? If you need a certain amount of money for a new AI, make a supporter pack. Okay? I don't know what you can give us with a supporter pack, but if you need a certain amount of money for a new AI in the game that you don't want to take out of the sales of the game because it's very quiet, give us that supporter, that support pack, which we can get something from. Your true supporters will give you the money, okay, that you need for the new AI. So yeah, we can have an extra mutant funding DLC. We can have an extra cool car funding DLC. Okay? Everyone that wants a Mad Max car with spikes and armor plating on it, that's one of a kind. There can probably be 2 of them on a map as well. Okay? And spikes in the front takes a long time to damage. Okay? Just the extreme kind of badass car. Okay, that we can all get excited about. If you need funding for that, tell us what the funding is. Let's work together on that. The clan clothing DLC, I can't see how that's not going to work. Okay, but think of these ideas. Think of DLC, and don't worry. Don't think of the mansion. See the palace. Okay, because what me and a lot of my community sees, your true fans, sees this as the best survival game ever, and we don't see a predecessor in the future for a very, very long time. And if you fulfill, if we can look at the same vision and we can try our best to work together, we can definitely get there, guys. Again, I'm not a troll. I know every single little bush on this map. I know every single location. I know every single mechanic. I love this game to death. It's the experience. I've built 1,000 bases. I've helped 1,000 people randomly. I've spoken to more than 1,000 people in game just to let them have a better experience. I've had fun with a lot of people. This game is all about the experience. It's not the PvP. The PvP is one of your strongest assets with the adrenaline rush. But if you do that repeatedly, that gets old as well. Any PvP gets old. But survival and the fear element never gets old. And we need to get that fear element back. We need to stand out above everything else in the market. We've got nothing more to lose, guys. It's not the time now to play safe. It's now time to roll the dice, okay? And see where we come out. And it's time to stand together. Lots of funding purposes, okay? Monthly streams is a must. Mods should definitely get back down to earth. Okay? But I think I've spoken enough about that. The experimental server is a must for at least 1 or 2 weeks before each and every update. Okay? Where we can spawn things in. We're going to need 2 weeks to test everything because everything takes time to test. But if you only want to make it a week testing period, then let us spawn the items in. Okay, so that we can test it for you. Many of the mods have mentioned this. And it's the perception. Yes, I know you can fix it later. But think about, the steps that you are losing, the people that you are losing when bases are being raided by stones or items are being duplicated or whatever has happened over these 6 years, which you are well aware of. Okay? We don't need to explain that again. So yes, guys, the item shop will blast this game away. I know that's definitely what puts Apocalypse Now at the top of the charts. I apologize if Apocalypse Now has got any major shit happening, but I think, the build everywhere and the item shop. The item shop really adds to most modded servers experience. But most people want, the pure experience. When with not a lot of bugs and with everything just working fine. I've got my own server with my own settings, guys. I would love to be on an official server. I would love for us all to get together instead of being so split up. Okay, I know a modding community is important, and once you open up all the code and both of the maps or even the future map, it doesn't matter. If you want funding for a map that we need to pay Matt, it's fine. Just let us give you guys ideas. Okay, let's see how we can improve on both of the maps that have already been created. Again, working together. And that's it, guys. It's a long video, but in my opinion, it's an important video. And I wanted to do things, while I was talking, but I don't want anything distracting me from what I've been thinking about, for the last 3 years, non-stop. We've got new weapons, we've got these Easter eggs that we can, get these cool weapons now. It's cool. I hope it stays. I don't know if we're going to always use Easter eggs, but seasonal items, seasonal updates normally gets removed. Stop removing the things, guys. Make this AM coins. Put the Easter, make an extra section here, guys. Make a shop here. Make a seasons tab here where we can craft everything that we've received in seasons and you'll just add to it. Okay? I'm sure having a ton of items in the crafting menu is not going to break servers. It's the amount of items on the server that breaks servers. And we are fine with limiting the items on a server at the moment. Okay? We've only got 6 storage crates and we've got, the 250 part bases. Having 1 million items in here is not going to make a difference, and we don't need unnecessary items. Okay, and I'm not saying the games are necessary, guys, but you have to think how many people are going to find this entertaining. How many people are going to play with each other in Miscreated rather than with their families? Okay, and what does it add to the base? It's cute. Okay, Halloween was awesome. People want stuff like that in their base. Valentine's was cool. Women want that in their base. And there's quite a few women playing your game, in case you didn't know, or playing this game. Okay, Christmas items are cool. Don't remove it. The alien drop was cool. Okay, I'm not saying bring the alien drop back. I'm just saying put those items in the northern bunker. And at the back of the radiation zone in Canyonlands, okay? Put a bunker spawn point. You've got random military spawn points. You've got police spawn points. Add an end game spawn point. Call it what you want. End loot spawn. Okay? Only spawns tier 4s and it's very rare across the map. And then add those tier 4 spawn points only to the northern bunker and only to the back of the radiation zone where the UFO crash site is. That there's a reason to go for it. Give every location a must. The hospital is a must for medication. The police is a must for police gear. The checkpoints is a must for military gear. The bunker is not a must. Caves are not a must. The Sultan Cave is the best cave in the game when it comes to loot. Yes, you can get loot in the big one as well. Okay, but it's a bit too dangerous with the people using it as a transport from the checkpoints to the Sultan Red Zone. Okay, a bit too much risk going there. And it's not really worth it for the loot. It's not really worth it going into bunkers. Because why would you go into bunkers to get Amalgadino parts when you can just go to Hayward? Okay? And get a ton more Algaminos there with all the computers and stations that are there. Your fans have played this game through and through. You need the soldiers. But you are listening to the lieutenants and the complainers. This is what Miscreated needs, guys. I don't think I've left anything out. If I've left anything out, you know, tough. I hope we can get together. I hope we can get to the core that we need, you know, to the core of a survival game. Green Hell, people love, but it's a single player game. It ends. Forest, people love, but it ends. This game can never end. And that is why you're sitting with a palace. You're sitting on a gold mine. Just let your soldiers help you. And stop listening to the lieutenants. This Luthais, guys. If you enjoyed this video, you know, press that like button. If you've not subscribed yet, I'm going to cover this game to death. I've already made my mind up about that. Sometimes I get, you know, sometimes other people get confused. I never get confused about this game. I never get excited about something that still has to happen. I got excited about this game in 2014 when it still had to happen. And 4,500 people love this game with worse graphics and with a very small piece of the map and with mutants that could kill you very, very easily. 4,500 people love that. It's not one thing. It's a bunch of things. And we can definitely help each other figure that out. You are the commanders. You are listening to you are the generals. You are listening to the lieutenants. Please, you are losing your soldiers. But you won't lose me. Believe it or not. You'll never lose me. Cheers, guys. Have fun.